Hello, guys, and welcome to my new series. Wait, is this where I tell you guys all about a certain character and give the basics of how to play them without being all of this GM5 things like that or GM1 highly ranking competitive players that are all over YouTube saying you want to do this and this, always thinking that you have perfect aim, but what I'm here to tell you is how a character works and how you're going to want to use them in any random game. This time we're going to be starting with Ashe, and I'm thinking I'm either going to go in perfect alphabetical order or I'll just go in alphabetical order by role, starting with DPS because those are generally the hardest to get really good value on, I feel like, in casual stuff, because you can't really, because if you don't aim well, and tanks are just very overpowered right now, and supports, like, yeah, it's just, they're the hardest rank. So, starting with Ashe. Ashe has 4 abilities, like the normal status quo for, or, no, it had 3 abilities, plus a passive, with the roll passive. I believe, like, Elim, reload, whatever. But basically, her abilities, she has this lever action rifle, which does have an ADS form. The lever action normal body shot does, honestly, pretty disappointing shots. 5 shots to take out a 200 HP character. 5 body shots, which is not good. The headshot, however, it only takes 3, which is better. Let's see, like on Tracer. 2 headshots will dispatch Tracer. But when aimed down sights, it wildly increases the damage. Like, this is 1 normal. That's 1 aim down sight. It's way better. Let's finish these guys off. Yeah, it reloads individually. So if you fire a lot of them, it reloads individually if you look at the bottom right. So it does take a while to reload. But normal headshot, aim down sight headshot. It does a ton more damage, and the ADS headshot will one-shot a Tracer. So you want to try and hit headshots whenever you can, but you still can do. But you want to be ADS'd the whole time. She is a long-range character. Like, look at this. You're still hitting the same amount of damage all the way out here. So you want to be on high ground, just so no one can hit you as much. Which we use at the left shift ability, which I've used a couple times. It's not that hard to know. If you play Fortnite, it's basically the dub shotgun. It launches you backwards from whatever way you're pointing, and it launches enemies backwards while dealing damage, as you can see here. This can be used if someone's pressuring you up close. You can knock them back to line up a shot, as I'll show you when the cooldown goes back, like this. Like if this, I hate when this happens. You just knock someone off, they just don't die. It's really weird. This was like as an Overwatch one. It's not a bug now. So if the Tracer's, not Tracer usually, but if someone's pushing you, and you're in the back line, you want to stay in the back line, you can knock them back, and hit him like that. That's obviously if they're not like strafing or anything. So don't feel ready to hit clips even as good as this. I've had barely any more practice than you, but this is against a normal character, so you're not going to be amazing at this character after this era. And then the next one, basically, it's just TNT. It has a cooldown, and it'll explode. It will damage you, though, so make sure to stay out of the area of effect. But the interesting thing is it does more damage the closer you are, because there's an initial explosion damage, and then there's the fire damage over time. Next thing you need to know is that it does activate when it's hit by any of your shots, whether it's where am I? When you hit it with any of your, I'm just gonna hop off real quick. When you hit it with any of your abilities, like I'm saying, any of them, any of the earpiece finder or the shotgun, but I would recommend you don't use the shotgun. It's called the coach or whatever, because if you're close enough, you're going to still take damage. Like this, you're going to still get hit by the explosion. You're going to take less damage, but you're still going to get hit. For the next one, I am going to switch for Roadhog. If you can hit headshots, this is an extremely powerful character. This is a Roadhog, the most health in the game character, as far as I know. Dies in like 5 shots. Maybe Hammond is. I forget, but Hammond. Yeah, Hammond definitely has more, but deals ridiculous amounts of damage for headshots and even for body shots. Like, you're still getting a lot of damage from just hitting the body shots. And then we get to the ult finally, which is why I wanted Hog up here. Bob. Most players from Overwatch 1 will tell you that the only reason you play Ashe is for Bob. This is because your ult is just adding another party member. Once he hits something, he'll stay here, he deals a sizable amount of damage, but his main thing is actually just covering ground. Making sure, like, denying areas from people, because if someone peeks, he can switch and deal a ton of damage, especially to squishy enemies. I'm just charging it up. To show you, but basically what happens with Bob is, let's see. I'm gonna knock myself off, but basically with Bob, he will keep running until he hits a wall. And every time he runs into someone, he launches them upwards, which also helps you line up shots like this. As soon as he hits a wall or a knockback, he will stop moving. He will go away after a short duration, because if you had Bob for more than like 5 seconds, it would kind of be broken. But he is very good for sending into large-scale team fights and either distracting them so that other people can fight, or just dealing a lot of damage and stuff. Furthermore, don't use Bob, like, if you're on like a corner or something, be aware that Bob can get stuck at ridiculous angles. So you want to be careful where you launch him at. Because if you launch him here, sometimes he'll run off the map, sometimes he'll get stuck on the stairs. Depending on where you exactly aim, Bob will go basically where you're pointing when you press Q. There's not much difference, but if he hits any immovable objects, like even this light, he'll stop. If you or these railings, sometimes he'll jump them, which is really weird, like with the railings. But with like the light, he's gonna stop. If he hits, like, you can run through this, but if he hits like this box without the snow here, he's gonna stop. If he hits like any of the railings that you can break, he's gonna keep going past them. Basically, railings he ignores. So don't count on them to stop him from running off the map, or don't count on them to stop him at a right angle. You want either you just want to throw him into a wall. He does stop if someone like boops him. So like if Bob's charging in and you use Lucio does his boop, or the enemy Ashe does their shotgun, it's going to stop. So you want to be aware where you put the Bob. But even if you completely are terrible at this ult, she can still be a pretty effective character. So now that the basics of Ashe I have laid down on like how she works and stuff, I will now going to a game, and I will try my best to explain what I'm doing at any given moment during that game. And you see, Bob is an excellent tracker. No matter how far that hog flies, the Bob will still track it. It's sort of like Torbjorn's turret. Hit scan auto aim, it's broken against if there's like a Pharah or an Echo. If they don't get to cover, or like a Mercy, it's a very effective way to deal with them, because you're just an overall counter to flying heroes, because you can hit very far and you're a hit scan hero.
Okay, so we've gone into
now
a
I'm going
map.
to hop
This
into
is
a
Circuit
public
Royale.
match and tell
And
you
we're
the
attacking.
theory of what I'm trying to do
This
as
time
I'm
you're not
doing
going to
it,
get so
to
much
help you
high
get a
ground when you're
better
attacking.
picture
on defense
of what I'm
can
doing.
be up high, but when you're attacking, it's a lot harder because you don't have time to get up to the high ground before the enemy is due. But if as long as you stay decently far back, you do. Also, there's another unwritten law of Overwatch. I want to get out there before any of these new people say otherwise. Always put your spray on the door. You just always want your spray on the door. It's just sort of always happens. As you can see, my aim is garbage. Since I know that I can obtain this small piece of high ground, never mind. Payload went too far. As you can see, I'm not pushing ahead of the payload, which is just a general rule when you're attacking, unless someone's low, and if they're like a super powerful or good character, you generally don't want to go past the payload. You can also use that as a way to peek over high ground. As you can see, you kind of have to have pretty good aim to get a ton of value out of this character. At least until you get Bob. Bob's kind of a cheat code. He always has been. And it's really hard to play sniper characters when you are on low ground. And I just made that Zen use his Transcendence without actually much value. There we go. That is a successful team fight. And most of the time you will find that the game is separated into a bunch of team fights. See, I sent that Bob in to pressure everyone over there so they couldn't approach the payload, so we could get a bunch of space there. You can use the TNT to hit people from off angles without actually peeking, which is a pretty easy way to get free damage. No, get out of here, get out of here. Leave me alone. Yeah, I cannot deal with too many enemies at once. Once people start focusing me as an Ashe, it is very hard to keep up with everyone. And if you see me checking my stats or my just meleeing a lot, it's kind of just a force of habit. I picked it up when I played Overwatch 1. So like, basically, I feel like that's why I started doing this series, is because I keep seeing a bunch of these my goal is to stay back and destroy enemies from afar while keeping everyone away from me. Seems like I won't even get my ult a second time. Yep, there we go. Now I'm going to go to a defense map, and I want to say, no matter how good you are, disclaimer, you will lose sometimes. It is a team-based shooter. You won't always win if you're very good, and you won't always lose even if you're horrible. Some guy in the comment section, if this video actually gets views, is going to be like, you said even if you're horrible, targeted just me. I happened to click on this video because you said I was horrible. And I'm not. I don't know who any of you guys watching are. So yeah, so I'm going to go into a defending map now. Okay, so we are on Elios, which granted is not a defense map, but it gives you about the same idea. I just wanted a map where you could actually have the chance to get to a high ground when you're not constantly moving, like in a push map. And this theory works with most defense and control maps. The payload that what I showed you before this with the payload works not just with push maps, but also with hybrids, which kind of should be obvious given that they're basically the same thing. And it also works with push maps. I keep saying push maps as a synonym for payload maps, but because they are essentially the same, really similar. Oh my gosh. Why do they think I'm so dangerous? I have 75 damage. I've hit one shot this whole game. Okay. Good news. They overextend a lot. Bad news. They just killed their entire team. Okay, there we go. Now that we have this, I can go up here and use this spot to defend the payload. And basically, since you do take quite a long time to reload,
every time that you're not directly fighting with people, you want to be reloading. Oh, come on. I was going to try and get him to come over here so I could boop him off the map. You want to do this with all these low mobility tanks being in the meta. Booping people off if they overextend onto you is very good. Very good strategy, people. Very good. I think it's really funny how this, the Reaper hyperventilates when he's on fire. He's, like, completely freaking out. Oh, I just shockwave right in. I just, not shockwave, I just, launched myself right into that. Okay. This is not going well. Thankfully, I have a bob. Now, there are two strategies that I could do. I could put my bob right into there. Why am I down here? I should not be down here. This is very dangerous. I could put my bob right into the payload. Or I could launch it to the side to try and pressure them to stay inside it. Now, that would be a good strategy if we had an AoE ult available. Given that we have no ults available, I'm going to launch Bob right into the POI, whatever it is. Capture point, that's what it's called. Oh, come on, McCree. Or that's what I would do if we could contest, so... Yeah, you see, he launches everyone he meets until he gets CC'd. But don't worry, there's more. On this map, there is a big gaping hole in the middle of the map. So, if I'm on high ground and somebody gets close, I can knock them into that hole a ton. Why does everyone say that there's no such thing as too much base? There's like... So, Roadhog does, Kiriko says that Lucio needs to turn the base up in his newest track. There's just... Everyone likes base, I guess. I do not have speed boost anymore. That's a mistake. Speed boost is very powerful. Okay, get me up here. It's not the best vantage point, but it'll do. Is this Mercy battle mercying? I hope not. Battle mercies are not powerful, but they are so annoying when they get that lucky kill on you. This is a guide to everyone who wants to be a support. I haven't done a mercy video yet, nor will I do it for a while, probably. But don't battle mercy. You should almost never have that pistol out. Oh. You never want to give up this high ground. This high ground is probably the best high ground in this on the whole map. And for a long-range character. Oh, that's an example of what you don't want to do with your coach shotgun. Yeah, but she does have pretty good mobility, so with that, like, one death this round, I can get back pretty fast. Thing is, if you want a character who can contest the payload, this is not your character, nor is Sojourn. I don't know why this person is doing that. Why did they use both DPS ults? Well, they team killed us. But why? We can make it back. Wait, I don't know if we can make it back. That might be why. Yeah, I should not have been playing so low, because if I'm playing that low or so close, really, it's really distance that matters. Because if I'm close to people, then they can destroy me. I should be doing the opposite. I should not have that high damage. I should have way higher elims, though, because I'm... Why? Why Winston? Can you not? So yeah. Close-up is not fun. So hypermobile enemies are your enemy. Your real enemy. They are basically your counter. High mobility enemies... Yeah, there's no way I got on there. So yeah, that is the basics of Ashe, as I said. You're going to have to work on your aim before you get really good with her. But she is a decently viable character most of the time. So thank you for watching, and I hope you come back for my other videos in the future with other characters.